Hey guys, SPD64 here, and we are back with more unpopular opinions. But this time, it's not my opinions we're judging, it is going to be your guys' opinions that we're judging. So I asked on Twitter for you guys to submit your personal hot takes when it comes to Sonic, and I chose a few. And I'm gonna read them out loud and discuss them, and somewhat judge them, depending. Let's crack on with it. Sonic is an introvert. He spends most of his downtime by himself. Long time no see quite literally means he hasn't seen them in a long time. The biggest proof of this is his depiction in Sonic X. Notice how he spends most of his time alone, either contemplating or relaxing. Why are you kind of right though? Wait, hold on. Like, you're kind of spitting facts a little bit. I mean, I kind of agree, but I kind of don't. Because, yes, he's introverted in that sense. Maybe he's an introverted extrovert. And I mean that in the sense of he's extroverted because obviously, you know, he's a loud boy. You know, he likes to show off. He's not exactly shy. But maybe the introverted part of him is that he does need time to himself to recharge his social batteries. Because I believe that is a thing. I like to think that nowadays I'm kind of in that category. I'm still pretty introverted, but I'm way more extroverted than I used to be. I'm pretty sure that is a thing where you can mix the two together and have a combination. So you get a person who can be very extroverted but needs time to kind of recharge social batteries. So maybe Sonic, maybe he is that. You know what? I vibe with that. I get that. Sonic Generations, although a perfected boost game, is a shallow and empty project with less value than colors. Oh my goodness. That at least had interesting gameplay features. And 06 that has passion, idea, and ambitions that could work amazingly in a different set of conditions. Oh boy. Oh, I kind of agree. Like, okay, there was a lot of hype around Generations. We all know this. I still remember the adverts for the game. I got the demo. I pre-ordered. We were all hyped because it was like a proper glance back at modern Sonic's history. Yes, classic Sonic, but it was more modern Sonic kind of history. And it was cool. Don't get me wrong, but there could have been more. Like, the hub world could have been a bit more interesting. I mean, I know that was kind of the point, is that it was supposed to be a sort of void. And I know that the final boss we all talk about was less than stellar. I don't know, like, I enjoyed it. It's not my favorite. In comparison to colors. I mean, presentation-wise, colors is better, but in terms of enjoying it, I actually completed Generations, whereas Colors, I think I got to Planet Wisp and I was done. Like, I've always thought that Colors was mid. I'm gonna be real, I've always thought it was mid. And 06 I actually do enjoy 06. I do agree, it had a lot of passion and ideas and ambition. It's just great concept, not so great execution. So, you know, I'll agree to that. Yeah, as controversial as it is, I'm sorry. Silver should not have a traditional platforming game. Something more like Frontiers could work, but my mind is crossing Psychonauts and Gravity Rush for something around his moveset. I agree, 100%. I mean, first off, he needs his own game. Give Silver his own game. Give Knuckles his own game. But yeah, 100%, I want to be able to zip around as Silver like he did in his intro cutscene in 06. I always really liked that his gameplay was slow. I know that was the main complaint people had when it came to him. I personally never minded that he was a hedgehog who was slow. I think it adds variety to the characters, and I like that Silver was definitely more about puzzles and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I 110% agree with that, especially now that we know the Frontiers and that kind of mechanic or gameplay style works for Sonic. I'm all on board for Silver getting a similar, you know, kind of treatment. So fingers crossed he will. Fingers crossed he will. No idea if this is unpopular or not, but if and only if the story was written well and didn't rely on blind nostalgia, a multiverse game could be fantastic with the open zone format. They could get so creative and fun with it. Ooh. Okay, my thing with multiverse stuff is that I feel like it's really hard when doing I feel like the whole purpose of a multiverse, like 90% of the time, the purpose of a multiverse story is nostalgia. It is references, it is stuff like that. So I do think that it would be hard to do a multiverse game for Sonic that doesn't rely on blind nostalgia. And hey, we all know that Sega, they love to give us that good old, like, hey, remember Green Hill, as if we haven't seen it every single time. You know, they definitely rely on blind nostalgia, bless them. But I do agree, if the story was written decently, then sure. But I think it would be very, very hard to do. Eggman doesn't need to be how he was in Essay 1 or 2. I agree. I mean, and the thing is as well, he can still be scary. He has still had scary moments nowadays. But yeah, like, I think it's fine if he's a bit goofy. I think in a way that him being goofy most of the time makes the moments where he is more intimidating all that more intimidating. I love character tropes where it's the character who's very patient or goofy or, you know, happy-go-lucky. But then if they get pushed, they have moments. They have moments where they just kind of like snap or have this kind of threatening aura go around. I love that kind of stuff. So I think with Eggman it works. Not as much of an unpopular take nowadays, but as someone who grew up with the 4Kids / Dark Age era, I think it brings out the best in the characters when they push the tone to a more shonen anime type direction. 2000 Sonic definitely has the most tangible growth of any version. I agree. I do think that around that quote-unquote dark era, Sega were way more creative with their ideas. It was just, unfortunately, the execution wasn't great, but I think a lot of their ideas were really, really good in comparison to that. We're kind of going back to that area. Frontiers is definitely like a step in the right direction, but the reason why I like this series so much is because they have always had really creative ideas, you know, like give him a sword, make him a werewolf, like that was creative. I always enjoyed that. Like, I definitely would have been a kid around, you know, this era. No, I was a kid around. What am I talking about? I was a kid around this era, and I remember really enjoying it. That's what drew me in. It was the creativity of it. So yeah, no, I agree. I definitely, yeah, I agree with that. This is gonna. Oh, here we go, lads. This is an interesting one. Teaming up Silver and Blaze is the worst thing that Sega could do to both characters. Silver, he can't do anything alone because of this, and Blaze because she's reduced to be only Silver's sidekick, limiting her a lot. They don't even have any chemistry, not even as friends. Oh my goodness, the comments are gonna love this. Okay. Here's the thing. I do get what this person means. I do see where they're coming from. Because, yeah, nowadays, if you have Silver by himself, or Blaze by herself, you get people that are like, where's the other? So I do get what this person means. It does suck as well, because Blaze especially, she debuted before Silver, and she was, you know, she had her own thing going on. You know, she was Sonic's new rival, first female rival. You know, and there was great chemistry there, whether you take it's platonic or romantic between Sonic and Blaze. It was great, awesome. And then obviously Silver comes in and Blaze is in his story a lot. Yeah, and it's just kind of, I guess, solidified that these two are kind of a dynamic duo. So I get where this person's coming from. Do I agree? Yes and no. Yes, I could see the negatives of it, but I could also see the positives of it. I would say that it doesn't necessarily limit Blaze. I think, if anything, it gives her more reasons to interact with characters, because she already had interactions, you know, with characters like Sonic, Amy, Cream, Marine, and now a fifth character, Silver. So I think, if anything, it's given more reason for her to be around in certain situations. Same with Silver. I mean, Silver, yeah, he pretty much only spoke to, was it Sonic, Amy? Man, Sonic and Amy be talking to everyone, which makes sense. But yeah, Sonic, Amy, Shadow, and then Blaze. I think that's also who Silver talked to. And Espio, wow, I completely forgot about Espio in Rivals 2. We need that team up again. Can we have Silver and Espio hang out some more? I really like that friendship. But anyway, going back to this original point, I mean, I personally really like Silver and Blaze together, whether it's friends or a couple, but that's just because I like the dynamic of two characters where one's a bit more reserved and the other one's a bit more happy-go-lucky, and Silver's not necessarily like, you know, as extroverted as Sonic, but he definitely is more... I get the sense from Silver he wants to, you know, meet new people. You know, he's like, oh, you know, let's go explore, Blaze, let's meet new people. And obviously Blaze is definitely more like, oh, I don't know. So I don't know. I like that dynamic. Again, I can see where this person is coming from 100%. I agree and disagree with this one. While Jason Griffith is my beloved, I truly do believe Kurt Thornton does have the ability to do a good shadow voice, and his vocal direction in Forces is proof of this. I'm telling you, all he needs is the right voice direction. I agree. I heavily agree. Because, okay, go back to, like, Sonic Free Riders. Shadow sounded good in that. He sounded good in that. Forces, like this person said, Forces Shadow sounded good. I don't know why they keep like having Kurt go to this very, I almost would describe it as like gravelly kind of voice. And it's the voice that he gave Shadow in Sonic Boom. I guess to play more into the fact that Shadow was a villain in that universe. But I think Kurt, he really can do it. He can do it. But I do think it's unfortunate in terms of, like, I think it's just the voice direction. But yeah, I mean, I'm in a similar boat as well, where Jason Griffith is my, like, favorite Shadow. God bless that man. Alright, final one for today. If I decide to do any more of these, comment below if you want me to do any more of these. The series should have a massive status quo shift where the Master Emerald is destroyed beyond repair. Give Knuckles closure as its guardian, of course, but it hasn't been used in a long time. It also stopped the "Why is Knuckles here? Where's the Master Emerald?" comments. Ooh, why do I agree? I do agree. I think maybe not get rid of it. Maybe not destroy it. And I mainly say that because I still want Knuckles and Rouge to fight over it, because I love that ship. But yeah, like, it's not really been a relevant thing for, I want to say, the past 10 years. And yeah, there's always the comments of, why is Knuckles here? Why isn't he on the island guarding it? One thing I've always been a little bit confused on is it's always been made to be a really big deal and a really bad thing if the Master Emerald's taken off its pedestal and Angel Island falls into the ocean. But we've seen it's happened before where Angel Island has fallen because the Master Emerald got taken, but it just sort of floats on the water, so it becomes a normal island. Why is that a bad thing? I may be dumb and not like fully realize there's actually been a stated reason why it's bad, like the island gradually dies or something if it's not in the air. But why is it a bad thing for the island, you know? And maybe that's part of its closure. In Frontiers, we definitely got the sense that, you know, Knuckles wants to break free from the responsibilities, which quite honestly, yes, originally was put on him by someone else, probably his parents, but for the longest time, it's the kind of pressure and job he's been putting on himself rather than someone else. You know for a fact that Sonic and Tails have constantly tried to get him off the island and be like, come on, like, hang out with us, you don't worry about it. And he's always been so hard on himself. So I do agree that he should get some closure, and I definitely think Frontiers is the right step in that direction. Oh, I don't know if I would destroy it though. I don't know if I would destroy it, because if we destroy it beyond repair, that's it then. I would definitely, I don't know, maybe store it somewhere, like maybe Tails stores it somewhere, or like somewhere safe. I don't know, just so that way it's left more open-ended, so that if Sega want to come back to it, they can. It's there. It's not like impossible to do. So I think that's an agree and disagree kind of opinion or hot take there. I would definitely say that it would be nice for Knuckles to kind of be released of that guardian role, because he is much more than just the Master Emerald guardian. You know, he is much more, and again, Frontiers is trying to, character-wise, it's trying to make him realize that he doesn't need to just be the guardian and that's it. So who knows, it could be that they already planned on doing something like that. All right, that was interesting. There were definitely some hot takes in there. But thank you guys, first off, for submitting your hot takes. As I said before, let me know if you want me to do a video like this again, where pretty much I just expose you guys. That's literally what this video is. I'm just exposing you guys and your opinions. But let me know if you want me to do more stuff like this. I hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you all in the next video. Farewell.